Alright guys, welcome to the channel. Just thought I'd do a little video. We're about to go into the outdoor season, and this outdoor season I'm going to be running at Southport and Bury. A lot of work's being done at both the tracks, so I want to get my cars as best prepared as possible. Recently just bought the associated B7. Struggle setting it up. You always struggle with a new car, but now I'm going to concentrate on getting it ready for the outdoors. So we're going to get the ball diff. Going to put a ball diff in it. What else are we going to do? We're going to change the shocks fluid in the front. The back feels a little bit too stiff, but we'll adjust it at the track. I am racing next Sunday, which is Easter Sunday at Southport, but we definitely want to do something with the front. So we're going to get the ball diff in, have a quick overlook of the car, remove the anti-roll bars and get it best prepared as possible. I am no Michael Olowski, and I don't claim to be, but we're just going to set it up from a novice's perspective and see how we get on. So yeah, let's have a quick look at the car and see what we're going to change. Right guys, so we're going to take the anti-roll bar off. We've got quite a few linkages on the back, but this associated tends to have a lot of grip on all four corners. So we're going to take the anti-roll bar off, put the ball diff in, change the tyres to mezzos. We're going to remove the turbo from the ESC. The front is all right apart from the shocks. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to start on the back end and get that back end done. So when you're buying a ball diff for the associated B7, you need to buy the B6 differential and then buy B7 drive cups. There's no actual part number for a B7 ball diff. So I think what they would just expect people to do is just buy the B6 ball diff and then just buy these B7 ball diffs out drives. The other option you can do is you can actually put B6 drive shafts on, which I believe, I think they're slightly longer or whatever. Yeah, you can put the B6 ball diff in, but you need B6 drive shafts because they're a little bit longer. I think the drive cups on the B7 a little bit longer than the B6 drive cups. We'll have a look at that when we get it out the box and compare it. So first off, we're going to start stripping it down and get that rear ball diff in. So yeah, really looking forward to getting back outdoors racing. I love racing outdoors. I don't really enjoy racing indoors. It's really good racing at Bury indoors just because of how much of a great event Bury puts on. Bury is real like the place to be if you want to race indoors. So yeah, so we'll get this gearbox cover off and then get the ball diff in, get the anti-roll bar off, and then that'll be the back end kind of done. So thanks for everyone who's tuned in lately, getting me close to that 3,000 subscribers. Feel like it'll be a proper milestone once I hit 3,000 subscribers. Not many channels make it to that kind of milestone, but I appreciate any help that I've had over the years. All thanks to Model Sport for helping me out, getting parts to me quick so I can make content for you guys. So yeah, I love racing with a ball diff. I'm not too, I don't really like the feel of the car with a gear diff in. I very much prefer it with a ball diff. Looking forward to running my B7 4.2 this year as well. Love running my four-wheel drives. I think it suits my aggressive driving style a little bit better. Four-wheel drives. Hardly run my four-wheel drive because not many places run four-wheel drive. Southport, unfortunately, doesn't seem keen on running four-wheel drives. But Bury, you can always get a race at Bury with the four-wheel drives. So there we go. A rear gear diff. I'm going to just take them. I've got the aluminium diff height adjusters on this. So we'll get that out. Get the ball diff built. Get it in. Good to have a little plastic container, so you don't lose your balls. I'm not sure what them bearings go in the center of the ball diff. Yeah, so we're kind of building this a little bit blind. I can't remember how it goes together. Right, okay. So we'll get some grease in the diff. Use the included diff grease. Get plenty of that in there. Helps keep your balls in place. There's plenty of that in there. Grease is like money, you can never have too much of it. Just get all your balls in. Now I've been told when you're building a ball diff, you have your thrust race, which is the screw side of the ball diff. You have that on the same side as your spare gear. Prevents it from unscrewing apparently. So there we go. Got all our balls in. Now we want to get our bearing. Put our bearing in. We'll just plenty of grease. Just get some grease on there. Not our ball diff. Yep, so the bearing in the middle of the diff. Then we can get our other drive cup. There we go, guys. Now it's just a case of getting our ball race in there. The job should be a good one. Got our little thrust race cover. Just helps keep the crap out. You can see little thrust race cover. So get our frustration there. So there you go. Just make sure your ball diff is nice and free. So we're going to grease it up. I tend to use some core RC grease in my gearboxes, so I'll just go and get some. We'll grease it up and we'll get it in the gearbox. Yeah, boys. Yeah, so I tend to use some of this core RC high performance lithium grease. The name sounds posh, so it must do a good job. So get that on our ball diff. Plenty of grease on there. Like I say, grease is like money, you can never have too much of it. It's best to have too much than have too little. Plenty of grease. So you want the thrust race side on the spare gear side. And we're going to have our ball diff in the low position. Why? I don't know. So yeah, just clear up any excess carpet that we've picked up on our ball joints, on our drive shaft, sorry. Or dog hairs and all other kind of things that we've picked up from racing indoors. Now we're ready to get it in place. Make sure you get your diff height adjusters the same on each side, and let's just get it in, then get your drive shafts in. Probably would have been an idea to get the anti-roll bar off while we're there, but yeah, a professional I am not. Get our overdrive shaft in. There she goes, slide it in place. Yeah, boys. So yeah, our ball diff's in. So now while we're at the back end, we're going to take the drive shaft, the anti-roll bar off. Just get everything prepared for when we go outdoors into the neon wilderness. Very easy to take the anti-roll bar off this. Pop your ball joints off. There we go, one. These fiddly farty little cars. Here we go. Easy enough to get our drive shaft, our anti-roll bar off. She just manhandle it out the way. Here we go. So yeah, make sure our diff heighteners are the same. Yeah, boys. And slot that girl in there. There we go. In she goes. Now we're ready to put our gearbox cover back on. And job will be a good one. So we can adjust the ball diff up once you get it all in place. My slipper clutch is pretty good, so you just want it tight enough so the slipper clutch slips rather than the ball diff. Otherwise you're going to burn your ball diff out, which is very easy to do on these powerful little RCs. So we'll get our shocks on, get a battery in and adjust it up so that just the front wheels just lift off the ground a little bit. That's kind of like where you want your ball diff to be. I'm sweating my bollocks off. The heat in here gets pretty hot pretty quick. I've got like 5 studio lights in here. So don't have the luxury of air conditioning, unfortunately. We also want to adjust the towing on the rear suspension. On Astro, on carpet, you kind of have it kind of straight, whereas when you go outdoors, you kind of have it facing in a little bit when you're racing on Astro. So yeah, we'll have a look at that in a minute. Just want to get this ball diff adjusted up first. And that don't feel too bad, to be honest with you. Let's see if we get any slip. Grab the back wheel. Yeah, once tightening up a little tad. So ball diff's in, feeling nice and smooth, but when we hold the spare gear and hold the wheel, if I can manage it, the ball diff slipping rather than the slipper clutch, so we need to tighten it up just a tad. It's easy enough to do. Might be better with a ball end M2. Let's tighten it up a smidge, and you just want it so that the slipper clutch slips before the ball diff slips. If you can see, yeah, still a tad too loose. Very fine adjustments when you're adjusting your ball diff. Don't need to go swinging on it.
maybe just do an 1/8 of a turn as every time you go, just to get it right. And it's still a little bit too loose, but it doesn't feel far off. Doesn't feel far off. So maybe another fraction of a turn. All needs fine tuning at the track. But get in there, little 1/8 of a turn. It's not far off now, boys. I can feel it's getting there. And there we go. And there we go. Now the slipper clutch is slipping rather than the ball diff. So we'll do the owl test with the owl. See if it gets the wheels in the air. Yeah, that feels nice. It'll probably bed in a little bit after we give it a little bit of a run. So there we go. Ball diff in. Feels a tad too tight to me, but it'll bed in. We'll adjust it up once we get everything sorted. But now we're going to concentrate on our toe. If you can see on the back, the dot is in the middle. I can't remember what it is on the front. I think it's on the middle and the front, but you can see that the back wheels are kind of like parallel. So we're going to change them back blocks and put ones that are to the outer. So it's really easy to do. Just a case of doing these back two screws undone. We'll get the arse end of the suspension off and just check. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any setup sheets for this car for Astro, because I don't think anyone's actually ran it on Astro yet. I usually follow Spencer Rifkin's setup sheets, but yeah, they mainly race on carpets and dirt over in the States. They don't like AstroTurf like most of Europe. But you don't lose them little washers, he famously says. So I have my washers set into the middle. So we'll get these out, these little blocks out. We'll check what it is on the front. Yeah, the front ones are on the middle as well. So I'm not sure if we want to put spaces on the front that are to the inside, but that's a fine adjustment we'll do at the track. At the moment, we just want it slightly sticking out, because we know that's a step in the right direction. So I'll dig these out. And there we go, they're the ones we're going to use. If you can see them, it's not focusing, but it's got a 1 and the dot to the outside. So you want the dot to the outside. Yeah, boys. We'll take these out. Yeah, so what I've been told, on low grip surfaces, you have your back wheels pointing in, and on high grip surfaces you have the wheels kind of level. So with it being the start of the summer and it being a bit wet, I'm also going to change the ones on the front as well, and have the dot on the inside, and on the outside on the back I'm going to have the dots on the outside. I can always adjust it up as a later date. Everything is a new experience. We can get them out. Get them out, it won't come out. Yeah, there we go. Let's see what we've got here. Yeah. So we're going to change them and have them on the inside. So at the moment, we've got the dots to the outside. We're going to change them round and have the dot more facing inwards. I'm sure there'll be someone at the track that can just give us a few pointers of what we need to change just to make things a lot better. It's all about trying to get it as best as possible that first time we hit the track. Yeah, boys. So we'll build it up, see where we are, see how much toe we've got on the rear. If we think it's enough, shall we get on? Once we finish doing this, we'll concentrate on doing the front end. On the front end, we're going to be taking the anti-roll bar off. We're going to be adjusting the oil in the front. And that'll kind of like be it. Get our yellow mezzos on and our yellow cut staggers. And then we'll be good to go. There we go. That seems quite a lot. But yeah. Times like this, I wish I had an electric screwdriver. And there you go, boys. That looks okay to me. Just want to bed that ball diff in a little bit. Yeah, boys, that feels all right. Yep, happy with that. So that's the ball diff done, anti-roll bar off. That is the back end done. Yep, we'll move on to doing the front. On the front, basically all we have got to do is take the anti-roll bar off and adjust the oil in the front shocks. I don't tend to follow a setup sheet. I just have like a Samsung document in my tablet that I just have the oils on, and I just adjust it 50 up or down to stiffen it up or lighten it up. So yeah, and here we go, just test it a little bit, see how we get on. Yeah, so my slipper clutch is probably a tad too loose, but at least the ball dip isn't spinning, so we won't burn that bad boy out. So that's the back end done. Now we're going to concentrate on the front. We're going to take the turbo off as well, because we're currently running turbo on the ESC, so I'll turn that off, and then we'll concentrate on the front end. And here we go, guys, about to do the shocks. On the kit setup, it is 35 in the front, which equals 400 CST, and on the rear it's 30, which comes in at 350 CST. So just going to do the shocks. It's pretty stiff, this setup. I didn't get to grips with my suspension. Shock setup is so important on an RC. So yeah, going to change that around. It's got standard pistons in. We can always adjust it at the track if it's too soft. But yeah, I tend to like soft suspension on my cars. It just, I feel I can manage it a bit better. So we're going to change the shock oil, get that front anti-roll bar off, and then the car practically be done, ready to go outside next weekend. There we go, guys. Just change the shock oil. Always let them sit. Move them pistons up and down, just to encourage some of them air bubbles to come out. But yeah, pretty good. Leave them for a good amount of time till those bubbles stop rising. Put your caps on, bleed them up, put them on the car, and jobs are good. So once you've filled them up and got them shock caps on, you just want to back off the bleed screw and push the shock piston up slowly. Don't put it up too fast, just go slow. So we've already got excess oil coming out. Just slowly push them up, get a bit of air bubbles come out and a bit of shock oil, and then yeah, put the bleed back in. Don't over tighten it. It's a very fine thread. You just need to nip it up. There we go. Clean all the excess off. While you're there, just give your shocks a bit of a clean. I just tend to use an old toothbrush, just clean them threads up a little bit. And there we go, that's one done. Feels good. Do that to the other four, and they're ready to go back on the car, boys. Yep. And there you go, guys. That feels absolutely beautiful. The way the front and rear anti-roll bar comes off this B7 is next level stuff. It's just a case of undoing the two scrub screws and getting it out, whereas previously you had to kind of like, if you remember, you had to take the gearbox cover off the back and disassemble the front quite a lot, but yeah, just send 2 grub screws. It kind of like sits into C-shaped things with a collar on, and you just undo the scrub screw, pull it out, take your ball joints out, and job's a good one. So yeah, so that's that kind of got done. Now what we're going to do is we're going to glue some tyres, so I'll show you how we glue some tyres, and then that'll be a case of, I think the car is ready for next weekend, guys. So we'll glue up some tyres next. So here's what I do when I'm gluing my tyres. I pull that bead right back so you've got a clear view of the tyre rim. I don't use that watery super glue because I tend to glue my hands together. So just get it clear. I use this Gorilla Glue. It's like gel. And what you do is you just go twist it round as far as you can in your wrist. Helps if you've got good vision. And then just kind of like put a line of glue. Just a fine line of glue all the way around. Guarantee your tyres won't come off if you do it this way. Go all the way around, keeping that tyre back from the bead. Sorry if you can't see. Just do a tight thin little line all the way around. Just check you haven't missed any places. A little bit of a gap there. Get some glue on. Yep, looking good. And then just snap the tyre back in place. Put your bands on, let it dry, and then do the same on the other side. If I can get my tyre bands open. So I use these J Concepts tyre bands, really good. Which one did I do? I think I've done this one. Let me just, yep. Put your tyre band round. Leave it for about an hour. It's not the quickest drying stuff, but it's pretty solid once it's on. And then do the same with the other side. Peel the tyre back. Get a nice line of glue around. Seen some people glue the side of their sidewalls down. I don't bother with all that gluing the sidewalls bullshit. I think it's all mind over matter. Like people who turn the shocks upside down thinking that it's going to give them some kind of advantage. Nice line. Glue all the way around, just move it around in your hand. Make sure you get everywhere. Just double check. Make sure you've got a nice line of glue if you can see it there. And then snap the tyre back in place. Put your, oh, Jesus. Put your tyre band on. Wait for it to glue. And then do the other side. Back tyres are a lot more easier because you've got a lot more space to pull the tyre back. But I don't bother with that watery glue, putting it around the edge. The way I do it, they stay on it for good. Even if you give it full beans when you're upside down waiting for a marshal. So yeah, we'll wait for them to dry. And then that'll pretty much be the car done. And here we go, guys. Last thing we are going to do is just check our camber. Every time you make a change to the car, always check it. So we're out a little bit there. I tend to run about -1 degree. Very fine adjustments. Make all the difference. So we've been told. Just go around all 4 corners. Get your camber right. This one looks off. Yep. So it's got a bit too much on it there. I'll bring it in a bit. I always forget which way to turn. Yeah, it only takes a slight adjustment just to get it bob on. I know the back's out, so the back's going to need adjusting. Yeah, just a little tad more. And there we go. Sound as a pound. Yep, back's a little bit out. Just rotate it forward. Brings them front wheels out a tad. I tend to run -1 on the front and rear. Just a smidgy more. It's a tad more. It's good to be precise with these things. Here we go. Now that back one's out a lot, so I think we want to go backwards. It's always a bit trial and error with these turnbuckles, knowing which way to go. We want to go forward. Once you've adjusted it up, recheck your ride height, and then just check your camber. Once again, not far off, just a smidgy more. There we go. So there we go, just finishing touches now. Just check our camber, settle the car down. I tend to run -1 degree on the front and the rear. Drop the car down, let it settle. And there we go, boys. So yeah, the car feels lovely. It's all about confidence, having confidence in the car. So yeah, guys, car ready for the outdoor season. I love racing outdoors. Being outdoors, I can vape, listen to music, good stuff. So there we go. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope you found this video useful, maybe even life-changing. As always, thanks for tuning in. See you trackside.